Hi, this is Nilesh Sawant. I am Senior Vice President Learning and Development with Publicis Groupe. My role here is to lead learning practices for the group.
There is a perception that creativity can't be taught. How do you incorporate L&D strategies to ensure building the creative power?
Creativity has got no shape or size, right? And when you integrate the right approach, the right blend, people come forward. At Publicis, we strongly ensure that we give blended approach for our learners. That's why our programs like Design Thinking, Master Classes, Six Thinking Hats are much appreciated programs in the group. Plus, we are a group of young organizations and young people. And that is where giving the right content works for us. Same as Netflix and Amazon.
Which emerging trends do you find exciting for the future of employee development?
The rapidly changing technology, I would say three. One is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Second, gamification, which is to build in bite-sized content. And third, I would strongly say urge for learning. I think this is going to be very, very critical for people to sustain in the coming era.
How does learning and development add value to the organization and to the employees?
I think it's a win-win situation. Great learning programs or great learning culture fosters great relationships. Great relationships ensure that the attrition comes down, retention goes up. Plus, it also ensures that the organization works as one. Now, that's from an organization standpoint. From an employee standpoint, what really happens is an employee feels valued because he is seeing career progression, career development happening here. And that is where I truly believe that L&D as a function plays a very critical role in the success of an organization. It's not a cost center anymore, it's the profit center today.
What competencies do you believe every employee should develop regardless of their role in the organization?
Three come to my mind. Top three: agility, integrity, and communication. Agility because you have to have that capability to think fast. Integrity because you have to be true to the organization. And communication, your ability to communicate rightly with your right stakeholders takes you places.
Retention is a big challenge in the competitive advertising industry. What HR strategies have you implemented to keep the top talent engaged and motivated?
What is important here is meaningful engagement and meaningful conversations with our people. That is what has allowed us to have a strong control on our people, not in terms of controlling, but in terms of ensuring that our people love the place that they work for.
How to keep people engaged in continuous learning?
The winning formula here is to adapt with the new age. And when I say adapt with the new age, what is important here is to know what is it that your people love. Moment you know what your people love, you're able to build right programs for them, number one. Number two, today is the era of hyper customization. So gone are the days when you could say that same content can be replicated everywhere. No. Today, you have to customize the content basis the ask and the need of the business and the people. That is what keeps people engaged with you.
Advertising demands freshness every day. How can learning and development play a crucial role?
What is important here is to change with times. Classroom era was the era of 1990s, when you expected people to come down to a classroom and attend a program. But today, with technology changing, everything has moved to a platform world. And when everything has moved to a platform world, how can learning not move to a platform world? By that, what I mean is, we have integrated tools inside the organization which allows our people to learn on the move. They don't have to be confined to a laptop or a desktop or a workspace to learn. We have given them enough and more tools so that they can move and then they can even learn. So that is how we are ensuring that in our era and our world of advertising, we are able to keep people updated.
What is your strategy for the turbo growth in the company's professional development program?
I would look at it from the perspective of building leaders internally and having strong succession plans. I think when that happens, you are strongly seeded to work better in the environment of turbo growth. However, if you keep bringing in talent from outside who take time to integrate with your systems and your processes, your growth is going to be slower. Therefore, I strongly believe that turbo growth is an output of having seasoned professionals who are trained and groomed internally.
How has learning and development helped in the succession planning?
Oh, definitely. I think I wouldn't know of any organization which says that L&D doesn't help in succession planning. Because succession planning is not something that happens overnight. Succession planning is a defined pathway which takes some years to build. And that is where right learning programs, right content, right coaching allows us to build the leaders of tomorrow.
What would be your one mantra you would share with L&D planners for 2024?
I think I would say avoid clinging to the older content. Today, it's the new era. Therefore, refreshing and rebooting yourself is absolutely important. Therefore, revise your content, make your content up to date, and customize your content as per the business needs.
How has the approach to e-learning and digital training changed within your organization? Any success stories or lessons learned?
So, founder Marcel Bluestein always said, love the change, lead the change. So, when the world was waking up to AI, we had already integrated AI. When the world was waking up to e-learning, we had already integrated e-learning. That really talks about the way we love the change. And the success lies in the pudding, that the fact that last year itself, we had almost 19,000 course enrollments and 16,000 course completions by our people. That's, I think, the pudding of love that people have for our content and our platforms.
What would be the one tip you would give to a person stepping in as a leader for the first time?
I would say management is a skill that needs to be developed. Now, the only tip that I can give here is make your anger so expensive that nobody can afford it.
Which fictional character do you think would make an excellent corporate trainer, and why do you think so?
I would say Simba from the movie The Lion King. I think the father, the patriarch. Then the way he trains his cubs, his son in person, in particular on picking up the skills to be the king tomorrow. Being patient, being there, not losing his temper, not losing his cool when he is doing wrong stuff. Right? That is what is important as a facilitator. You can't get bogged down with the fact that your learner is not catching up with your pace. So you have to be calm and cool. And that's what I think resonates with me in terms of Simba as a perfect character for a perfect facilitator.
How do you promote work-learning balance among employees?
I think being in advertising, it is important to understand that our people are always on the move. So if our people are going to be always on the move, how about giving them a learning content which is always on the move with them? That's how we have created an AI-enabled platform which allows people to be hooked up to a platform to learn the content from wherever and whenever they want.
What is your leadership style and approach?
I think I get this question many a times, and I always say this: my leadership style really depends on you, because usually people get skill or will at work, and depending on where you are on that matrix, I define my leadership style in the context of either I will empower you, or I will coach you, or I will develop you, or I will delegate you.
Would you like to share a memorable incident as an L&D or HR professional?
I think I'll have to go back a couple of years. I remember in one of my erstwhile organization, we had an annual party, and this employee happens to walk up to me. He introduced himself to me, and he said, "Sir, do you remember me?" And I said, "While I know your face, but I can't really recollect your name." And that's what he said: "Sir, I had attended one of your programs, and thank you for that program. Trust me, the skills that you taught me during that program are helping me to shape my day better." I think things like this lighten up your day and make your efforts worthwhile. Thank you for watching this episode. Keep learning, keep growing.